I did have a question for you though. So like you said that, when everybody was traditional, you were abstract, and then when everybody, jumped on the abstract, you was like, well, I'm gonna go traditional just to be like counterculture and stuff.
Mhm.
Who were your abstract influences? I always ask,
Yeah.
being from the Southwest and being from Arizona, I always wonder, what I'm saying, like, I always like to see if that got out in different places that it got out too.
Early Sour Patch, like early Sour Patch, those guys when they were more breaking and I know they still get down and stuff like that, but like PA, even like the way Tomahawk Weeham gets down back then, the way he approached his breaking. And it's wild. I was out there and had no idea that was that same dude. I was watching it was maybe like a couple years ago. I was showing my shorties Underdog Volume 2, I think.
hmm
And I remember Paranoid PA and him had battled together. And I was like, I always liked that battle just because it was so like different from the approach. Um, and then I was out there September, I don't remember. The homie Rose had a party and we were all out there and stuff. I think it was in September or August, but I was out there for like I was only supposed to be out there for 2 days. I ended up staying 5.
Wow.
Um, that was my first time out there in Phoenix, and I loved it. I've never been out there, and I loved it. And I didn't even get a chance to really get down with any of the b-boys. Like I just randomly ran into House at a club that night, and that was my first time meeting them. I knew Odin for a while and stuff like that, and Furious Styles people and stuff from battles and stuff. But like besides that, no. But yeah, it was definitely like Stunts, Midas, Robzilla, like not the like super abstract like circus style stuff, but abstract in the sense of those guys, especially Stunts, especially Robzilla and G Wiz and Midas, like those four. I definitely watched breaking at that time and was like, wow, this is unique. I really like this and stuff.
So the
And then
OSA guys, the
yeah, the
originalities,
OSA
did their
guys.
own
Yep.
guys.
And
Dope.
then there was a few other heads randomly peppered through like on that. But then as I got like as that style became like people came more, different, like abstract, I started to fall more into like the foundation and got more into like the East Coast stuff and started watching a lot of like early technique and he was a big influence. And as that transitioned, I still appreciated the guys like Paranoid Android who weren't necessarily foundational b-boys, but still were original and just kept going at it. As much shit as everybody would talk that's whack, that's this, that's that, they stuck at it. And I love that. Like it did not affect how they got down. And for people like Stunts who've been doing it for 25 years or so, 20 years, and still I hear people like in the crowd, like, oh, he whack. Like, look at that dumb shit. And I'm like, man, I was like, the confidence it takes to like, and the amount of like thick skin and like just believing in yourself you got to have like a bunch of people still running their mouth but still and then still moving up through the battle like
You're
is
right.
always I've always like
As he's advancing, you still talking to it.
yeah
Hey
you
man,
still
I
talking
beat your
smack
guy
like
though.
you can make it out of prelims like
Right.
at
No
these high
doubt.
caliber battles, like
Right.
even like at Silverback, I remember specifically at Silverback, I think he made like top 32 or top 16 or something like that. And just people were talking so much smack. And I just remember, I think it was as soon as like one of me and my homies went to say something, one of the other guys had from like Cali, I think it was like Nico or something, had just been like, it sucks to be running your mouth like that when you're watching his battle and stuff. And we are just like, whoa, like just laughing, clowning them, like, and it was some like random people, like, but yeah, that definitely affected, how that went, my style, like approach to music, dancing more, like that's, definitely been the root of it.
Right, because you come from you. Detroit is an interesting city. So you had the home of techno, big house city.
Mhm.
My traditional question is, how did being in this like techno heavy city, house heavy city, how did you get into breaking and hip hop?
As heavy as that is, it's still like on par hip hop wise with like some of the bigger markets like out there like LA and you go into like New York and it's like or Chicago and hip hop stuff. But like our hip hop scene is always like we've always had like really ill hip hop nights, Um like even like the first I probably went to one of the last like years of it. It was like 3, 4 floors of fun. It was like underground like techno type stuff, and then like top 40 and hip hop upstairs, or vice versa. Hip hop was in the basement. Top 40 like of that time was on the main floor, and then upstairs was all like house and techno DJs and stuff. And so it was like, it definitely like a lot more techno is in my history, and like what I listen to, what I like and stuff, than probably most other like scenes, only because like we had movement. Well, it used to be like the Techno Fest. Whole downtown's blown out, just all dope music all weekend, Memorial Day weekend. And that's been going since, I think the first one was 2001. And it's been going, it's called Movement now. And then it's just like, as like having all of that music just really like impacted me to like always look for good music to get down to, because I always tell everybody, sonically we're spoiled. Like there's like 3, 4 different things going on every night, every kind of genre, just, and top tier people that like, I know people out of state pay like $50 to go see them because they only come to their city once in a great while. And for us, it's they're spending every Tuesday at some random little spot that only holds 50 people. You know what I mean? And that's why they love it. They like get to spin the way they want, how they want. And not these giant crowds. They get to see the crowd and react with them and stuff like that. So that's cool. And then as far as like my breaking came, it just was like, it was the neighborhood thing to do at the time. Like this is 99, 98, at least when I first started getting introduced into it. I always tell the story of me and my homie Macario, who got me into breaking. We had skipped school in like 7th grade, and we had to like hang out in the basement because his mom ended up coming home early, and she lived on the 2nd floor. So we couldn't go upstairs. So we had to hang out in the basement, and like he had like a little TV down there. Like, this is 98. So like a 13-inch TV was normal. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Laptops are this size now. It's wild. and it had the little tape thing. He had Enter the Madness on it.
Okay.
Which was I didn't know for like years that tape was a Seattle like hip hop tape and stuff like that. So it had like Massive Monkeys and all them on it, and then so I was like, oh, that was my first like seeing like hip hop, and I ain't stopped since. 12 of us in a van. I'm like, man, some of those things I'll never trade, man. I will never trade those memories, because those are some of the funnest things. Like having to call my mom from a payphone to tell her I'm in Cincinnati, and her screaming on a phone, and everyone seeing me from the balcony laughing, being like, yo, you're going to die when you get home. I'm like, whatever.
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Cypher. Let us know how we're doing down in the comment section. And to make sure you don't miss anything from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Peace. Until the next episode.